Hello, hello, party people. I told myself I would not get emotional, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Like who are you talking to here? Like, this is your first time on the channel. Um, I I don't know how else to say it. Could have been crazy. The first book was published in 2012. I took about a 2-year break to just recover. There was, as I mentioned in my next book, could have been crazier. There was a lot of stuff and could have been crazy. There was a lot of stuff and could have been crazy. And I think that's what the problem was that I was just trying to fit so much into one book. In hindsight, should I have blocked it off, or you know what I mean? Like group it together or separately? I don't know. But nevertheless, what's done is done. And I don't know what really else to say. I uploaded the manuscript to Could Have Been Crazier somewhere around like an hour ago. So from 2014 to now 2024, it obviously the gap between 2012 and 2014, like, just because I took a break, that doesn't stop life from happening. But you know, if you really want to be technical about it, I spent 10 years working on this book, about 10 years of my life. Basically age 30 to 40. I started Could Have Been Crazy around 2014, I think. There's little timestamps throughout the book that kind of sort of keep track of these. Surprisingly, everything is in chronological order. Do I refer and react to certain things in the past? Of course, but that was not intentional, and I'm glad it happened the way it happened, because, in my opinion, it makes following the book a little bit easier. Something that did not happen and Could Have Been Crazy, but it was 10 years of my life, and I worked so hard on this book, and it's probably not going to show, because you know I'm not Mark Twain, for example. The book's probably not going to sell. I just want to throw that out there right now. If could have been crazy didn't sell, I don't think Could Have Been Crazy is going to sell. But it was mine, and it's still mine. I made it. I put the words onto the screen, and I did that over the course of 10 years. Was I working on the book nonstop? Of course not. Just whenever I felt compelled to record something, I did. You can see that in my YouTube channel from 2014, 2024. Like, this was in the middle of the pandemic as well. Did I get a lot of work done during the pandemic? I guess, I don't know. I wasn't really keeping track, but I was concentrating more on the YouTube channel back then. But let me just show you guys something right now. Let me show you something. So this is the cover of Could Have Been Crazier, and I really like this cover. With the little Easter eggs in the back, in the upper right of the screen, I mean, the image, you will see that was a submission for a community fit check, and I thought it was a good submission. obviously in the upper left you see the cover to Could Have Been Crazy, and obviously that's intentional. The middle screen appears blank, doesn't it? I wonder what that means. A lot happened in that decade, but it wasn't overwhelming. It was I think it was manageable. Did I include everything I wanted to include? Probably not, but I had my reasons for that. Um, it, it, I don't know if I'm overwhelmed by the finality of it, the finality of it. That is, it's done. It's gonna be on the internet, on Amazon, and arguably, hopefully, it'll be there forever. Um, I I worked really hard on this book, and I hope it shows. Um, I mentioned this one particular line that I mentioned towards the end of the book. If Could Have Been Crazy was for everyone else, Could Have Been Crazier, this book right here, it was for me. And Could Have Been Craziest will be for everyone, but for now, Could Have Been Crazier was something I wrote for myself. If anyone else gains insight or, something beneficial out of it, great. But this this is my story, and it doesn't necessarily have to include anyone else. Are there direct references to people who have been in my life for that decade? Of course. Do I use their real names? No. What the fuck? What the fuck do you think I'm doing there? They're trying to get sued over the price of this book is $2.27. You know why I came up with that number, but I I looked at the price of Could Have Been Crazy, and I looked at the price of Extra Sensory, and I was like, you know what, like, let's just make it like a couple of bucks, whatever. This is definitely shorter than Could Have Been Crazy. It's about a bit over 100 pages, single space. It's the fruits of my labor. Like, I didn't go crazy looking for an editor. It wasn't in my plan. If I tried hard enough, would I have been able to find someone? Probably. But would they have understood the story for what it was? Does that matter? I don't know. I get the feeling it mattered to me, though. Because at the end of the day, it's still a story. And if someone can relate to it, I think that's the most important thing. Throughout the multiple situations and occurrences in that book, in this book, I would like to think there's something anyone can relate to, at least one thing. 'Cause I was able to relate to all of this, obviously. So I can't keep talking about this. It's just it's too much, and it would take a few days, few business days, but the the book is under review right now, if I remember correctly, from my first two books. But this being my third book and the sequel to Could Have Been Crazy, um, we I am gonna make a series out of this where there's Could Have Been Crazy, Could Have Been Crazier, and Could Have Been Craziest, and together that will form a trilogy that ideally I would be able to bundle together, and it'll be for it'll be for like a completely reasonable price, completely, if not more reasonable than it really was. 10 years. A lot can happen in 10 years. I wanted to get this book published before my birthday on July 22nd, 7/22, if you recognize those numbers. I wanted to be finished before my 40th birthday because I don't know this for a fact, but obviously I can't predict the future, but from age 40 to around 50, I guess. Could Have Been Craziest will be published before my 50th birthday, ideally. It might go a little bit more afterwards, or hey, whatever. I got the rest of my life to figure this out. There's stuff I talk about in the book that I don't elaborate on. I might mention it. There's stuff in this book that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't. That might be for Could Have Been Craziest when everything has settled down a bit. I don't think anyone will ever understand how much this book meant to me. Me personally. I know that's obvious given his autobiographical material. 10 years, man. 10 years. The majority of this book was written in the past year, the past 6 months, maybe the past couple months, I don't know. I realized the deadline was coming up, and I decided not to dilly-dally about it. So that's why it's finished early. I wanted to give enough time for the book to be reviewed in case there are any problems. There's not gonna be, but I just wanted to make sure it was published by the time I wanted it published. So it's on Amazon in the next few days. By the end of the week, I assume you can search for Could Have Been Crazier, and you will see that book cover right there. It's kind of interesting because I question whether these are emotions of joy, emotions of relief, or even emotions of sadness, because I didn't want to end the book. That's why I set a deadline for myself to force myself to. It was the same problem with Could Have Been Crazy. It was just age 0, or age 1 second to I believe around my 30th, 28th birthday, etc. That was 28 to 30 years of my life in that one book, and here is 30 to 40. I really shouldn't have these pauses in the video, but it's a little hard to talk about after everything that transpired in that book. If you guys think writing autobiographical material is easy, just look back on all the stuff in your life that you struggled through, and then you tell me if it's easier to talk about it, is it easier to write about it. Some things will never be easy, and I don't understand why no one seems to get that. It is what it is. Alright guys, thanks for listening as I probably go sob to myself in a different room. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other.